the most recent signal, basically the most recent signal takes precedence. So again, if you negate the topping tail with a close over, let's say 123,300, now that becomes absolutely hugely bullish. But as long as this bearish signal is here and that move is off of that, it slightly favors the downside on the chart.
Gareth Soloway takes you deep into Bitcoin insights, from price trends to strategy and why it matters. Let's watch and learn.
Meta reports earnings, guys. Meta reports earnings after the bell. I'm going to go over Meta and Microsoft now because, again, those are going to be big players after the bell today. Take a look right here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Now, it has not triggered, so in all fairness, you can't jump the gun here. All right, again, the trigger is if it breaks this line, but it is a bearish pattern, and it is coming off double top. So let's see what happens. We know Meta's been poaching a lot of great AI talent. That's great for them longer term, but the question is, how much money are they spending? And again, remember, Meta has a history of saying, hey, we're going to up our amount of CapEx, right, our spending, to try to do better. And then the market has sometimes actually punished the stock because of that. And I just heard, again, they hired another top talent they poached another talent from Apple. At some point, by the way, they're doing this, by the way, from a lot of these big cap companies. I do wonder if there's ever going to be a backlash where the other companies start to purposely kind of say, you know what, you're going to do that from us, then we're not going to try to help you in any regard. Just kind of a thought on my own basis there. But again, if we break here, your estimated move to the downside, again, you can do a measured move here, classic TA of the measurement of a head and shoulder. A break point would bring us down to about 630, 635. That would be your short-term downside. On the offset, if on earnings it rallies and takes out the high of the head at 748, essentially, then it would negate the head and shoulders, and that would be off the table. There would be no more bearish pattern there. Microsoft, let's look at that real quick. Microsoft continues to hammer here. In all essence, this should fall on earnings. And the reason I say that is because, again, if you look at this trend line, and again, listen, it doesn't guarantee anything. I want to be clear on that, right? There's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees in trading. But every time we've hit this line, we've had a pretty significant multi-month pullback. And so I would generally assume that we're into this level again. We would see a pullback here on the chart. So again, something just to kind of keep an eye on that front. I would be bearish going into earnings on Microsoft. Now, one that I'm bullish on is Qualcomm. Qualcomm, guys, take a look at this. So it's a chip company. Maybe it's not as sexy as AMD or NVIDIA, but it's still a chip company. And if we look at this, look at where the stock is trading. It is 43% off the all-time high from a year ago. So again, number one, it's not extended like Seagate Technologies is. In addition, look at this trend line here. There was a breakout. So see this trend line? All right, 1, 2, 3, and on the fourth, it broke out. It retraced, and now it's gone into this kind of consolidation phase on the charts. And so again, we look at this and we say, okay, right here down to here, it's been consolidating. I would generally be bullish going into earnings on Qualcomm, looking for a pop, although I do think upside's probably limited to about 176 to 177. But again, I like the chart. Again, remember on earnings, folks, and this is really important, earnings you could either be very right on or very wrong on, right? So again, Qualcomm, if it doesn't perform, this thing has downside to like 140. So, I mean, there is a lot of risk there to it, but I do like the setup here. And you guys know I'm not shy about putting myself out on the line because, again, I'm just relaying what the chart probabilities are. It's up to the chart probabilities to see if it actually happens or not.
Ethereum is showing signs of strength, but the road ahead might not be as smooth as it looks. ETH is hovering just below the $4,000 resistance level, a zone it's struggled to break since late 2025. While bullish momentum is building, especially with on-chain data pointing toward a rally to $4,500, some warning signals suggest a possible short-term correction. On-chain metrics, particularly the active realized price band around $4,500, hint at a strong upside. This level has historically triggered explosive upward moves when breached. At the same time, ETH perpetual futures volume has now overtaken Bitcoin's, a major sign that traders are increasingly focused on Ethereum. Analysts like Byzantine General even reversed earlier bearish calls, noting ETH's refusal to correct and calling this moment a just send it phase. However, Technical charts reveal a potential red flag, a bearish divergence in the RSI, where price makes higher highs but RSI does not, suggests that buyers might be running out of steam. This has been spotted on both 4-hour and daily charts, echoing patterns seen before sharp pullbacks. If ETH can't convincingly push past $4,000, a dip toward $3,700 or even deeper to $3,200 to $3,300 is possible. Still, if momentum holds and short positions get liquidated, Ethereum could surge quickly, maybe even straight to $4,500.
Bitcoin has continued to hover in this. Again, amazing to see how long Bitcoin's been chopping inside of this sideways pattern. Remember, the only reason this is not bullish consolidation is because of the bearish reversal topping tail. The most recent signal, basically the most recent signal takes precedence. So again, if you negate the topping tail with a close over, let's say 123,300, now that becomes absolutely hugely bullish. But as long as this bearish signal is here and that move is off of that, it slightly favors the downside on the charts. And these are nuances that, again, I love revealing to you guys because I truly think it's going to make a difference in your lives in terms of understanding and putting yourself on the side of the higher probable trade. And by the way, that's what these institutions do. They literally have people out there they pay millions of dollars per year to as salaries to give them this same information. I love the fact that I can do a lot of this to you guys or give you guys this information. Now, listen, they all have more money than I do or than any of us do. They have trillions, if not, billions of dollars under management. But it doesn't mean we can't at least make returns equal to what they're doing. And I think that's the important thing. Everyone looks at these institutions and is like, oh my gosh, they're the big, I could never perform like the. Actually, you can. Actually, you can. It just takes a little work. But listen, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm firmly in belief of that.
XRP is heating up as it heads into the final hours of July, and analysts say the real fun could just be getting started. The key number to watch? $3.03. If XRP can close the month above that price, it would mark its highest monthly close in history, beating its previous record from January 2025. That level is more than just a milestone. It could open the door to a powerful new rally that many believe could send XRP soaring towards $7, $11, or even higher. According to crypto trader Agrag Crypto, crossing the $3.03 threshold would signal the start of a major breakout, pushing XRP into price discovery mode. He pointed to a technical marker he calls the chasm, a resistance line formed by cycle highs that has historically triggered explosive gains when touched or broken. For XRP, reaching the chasm could launch a move as high as $11, with the possibility of hitting $37 if history repeats. Excitement is building across the crypto community. Analysts like Crypto BitLord and Cryptolica believe XRP's momentum could soon unleash a parabolic rise. On top of that, July is shaping up to be XRP's 6th green July in a row, making it one of its best months ever. All eyes are now on that closing candle. If you have been watching so far, thank you so much for watching. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoinzilla for daily news all for free. That's all for today's video. Until next time.